right, and we are good. Okay, sweet. So, guys, thanks for joining me. Everyone who's in the stage event, thanks for being here. We're just gonna get started by kind of chatting. I'm just gonna ask these guys a few questions, allow them to kind of introduce themselves to you, and we'll talk for probably about half an hour. And then as soon as that's kind of done, or we're wrapping up that conversation, we'll start doing a Q&A. So you guys can feel free to just hop in, become a speaker, or request to speak. I'll allow you to become a speaker, and then ask whoever you want a question. It could be me, Nick, Ben, all of us. Doesn't matter. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, looks like Nick has departed from our chat. That's fine. But we'll start with Ben. So I actually don't know Ben super well. I think the first time we talked was maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. So I'm just going to give you a chance to kind of introduce yourself to the audience in case anyone doesn't know you. Talk about what you do, YouTube channels, all that.
Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Awad. I am 24 years old. I used to live in Austin, Texas, but I'm currently in LA. You may or may not have seen me on the YouTubes doing tech content. I used to do a lot of coding tutorials, but now my content is more kind of centered around the startup that I'm working on and kind of recapping and talking about the development and the business side of taking it to become a billion-dollar unicorn company. I also make some TikToks here and there. You can probably find me on Twitter as well. And I used to do some software consulting. My favorite technologies are React, TypeScript, Node.js, PostgreSQL, the Hypebeast stack. And yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that introduction. I noticed you didn't say Python there. Everyone here is a little bit offended because this is a Python
Just
server, but
kidding.
it's all good. All right, Nick, I'll give you a chance to kind of introduce yourself as well to everyone here in case they don't know you.
Hello, everyone. You probably know me because I'm very popular. My name is Nick, and I have a YouTube channel. And I am okay. I'm smart, and and I know how to code, and that's about it. And I recently started going out on the street and embarrassing myself in front of people. And besides that, I'm in Las Vegas right now. I used to work with Tim on Algo Expert, and I don't know what else I could say. That's pretty much it, I guess.
Yeah, Nick and I have actually done a few collabs as well. I forget if we've done one on my channel, but we've definitely done a few on Nick's channel. So if you guys are interested
Oh
in
yeah, our
those, you can check
last
them out.
collab I had to take down because we got hate.
Okay, I remember that. But did we do? I forget if we did another one or not. Anyways, you might see us in some video together at some point for some reason.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so with that said, I think we'll just kind of jump in here, and I just wanted to ask both of you guys kind of how you got started in programming and what your journey is. I'll just tell you what mine is really quickly. Most people here already know it, so I'll let you guys speak the majority of the time. But I started coding when I was like 12, 13 years old, like super young, and it kind of stemmed from just an interest in technology and just generally how things worked. You guys are probably similar, but for me, I was always just, asking a ton of questions, wanted to understand how all this stuff worked. And as soon as I got a computer, I was just super fascinated by it and started looking into HTML, JavaScript, kind of the really naive, basic web stack. And then eventually that led me to Python and all the other programming languages that I've learned. Anyways, Ben, do you want to give us kind of some insight into your journey and how you got started?
Yeah, so I took a Java class when I was 16, and that was like the first time that I kind of got introduced to it. And it was one of the like AP computer science intro things where you like take it to then take a test at the end for college credit. And after I did that, I kind of liked it, and I was like, I kind of want to do some more. And I think I did like some Udemy courses or something about Java, and I got to a point where I was like, man, I kind of want to start building some actual things. And like the only like thing you can build in like pure Java, besides getting into like that gross like Spring and web framework stuff, which I didn't want to touch, was Android apps. So like one of the first things I started building was just like apps for my own phone because I could like actually use it, and I had an Android at the time. And I started with like a to-do list, and for whatever reason, I actually decided to like stream myself on Twitch building the to-do list. And it was a really bad to-do list, and I also had no idea how to make an Android app. So if you like go to my YouTube and you scroll out to the very end, you'll find like a 4 hour video of me just Googling for 4 hours and getting like constant errors. Um, and then I got into Python for a little bit, and I did some data science stuff with Python. I did some machine learning. I did some Kaggle contests. and I really liked Python. Python was the first programming language like I kind of fell in love with. I did not like Java. Like I knew that right away. But Python was great, and I
Wait, when
kind
did
of
you do
dabbled.
Kaggle contests?
Yeah, I did Cackle contests.
When you were like just starting out?
No, this is okay. So I did Java until I was like maybe 18. So it took me a while doing like Android apps and derping around with that. So I started Python like maybe when I was 18, and I did Kaggle contests like maybe when I was 19 or something. And like bear in mind, this is like
Dang.
three of them. And I'm not winning these. I'm like just derping around with the like Jupyter notebooks and
Yeah.
making a couple, submitted. I think I might have submitted one, if any. But I was just like going through the tutorials of like I think there's like the Titanic and stuff like that.
Oh, I did that one too. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So I was doing that. And then I was trying to figure out what I actually wanted to do, like in programming, as far as what field of coding. And so I tried the machine learning Kaggle stuff, but I didn't really like it that much. So I also did like for a hot second, I thought I wanted to do competitive programming. So I learned C++. plus plus. I did that for a while. Then I thought maybe I'd do web dev. So I tried Django. And I actually didn't like Django all that much for some reason. Like it was good, but I also didn't fall in love with it. It wasn't until I tried React that I was like, okay, I like building websites this way. And then I did more and more React, and I just kind of became my favorite web technology, and I've been just doing it since. So that's kind of how I got started with programming.
Nice. Yeah. What you said about Django kind of resonates with me a bit as well. Obviously, I'm way better at Python than, well, any other language really. So I like using the Python web stacks. But then as soon as I learned React, I was like, damn, okay, making a user interface in this is way easier than trying to do any of this templating stuff with the Jenga, or how do you
Right.
say that, templating engine. So yeah, I've been working with React a little bit recently. Definitely not a pro like yourself, but it's really fun to mess around with, and you can create stuff pretty easily, which was interesting. So yeah, thanks for that, Ben. That sounds very similar to a lot of the journeys that I've heard. Just messing around with stuff, having fun, and then eventually kind of finding. I don't want to call it a niche, but maybe like a topic that you're more interested in and
Right.
dealing in that. So Nick, how about you? How'd you get started?
Okay, so I was in high school and I was pretty cool, I gotta tell you. And
Don't doubt it.
I wanted to get into a really cool college and join a frat, which sounds pretty stupid. But I didn't get like super high scores on the SAT, so I didn't get into the exact schools I wanted to. So then I was like, all right, what am I gonna do now? And then my friend told me about coding when I was like probably 17. I did a bunch of Code Academy stuff, and I was pretty good, I would say, like right away. And then I built like this website for my uncle's like liquor. I don't know, my uncle like made a liquor and had like I don't know, a website for like some liquor distribution kind of thing or something like that. And then I went to college and I got straight A's first semester, became a tutor. And then I was like, all right, now I got to get the good internship. And then, well, then I got into Barstool, which I don't know. That's not exactly like the best internship, but I don't know. It's like an interesting internship. And then I learned React, and that was like 2017. And after that was pretty. I don't know. Do I keep talking? What do I? That's how I started. Is that good?
Yeah, no, that's great. Whatever you want to say is perfect. I'm actually interested in the Barstool internship. What exactly did you do there, and kind of what was your experience? Because I guess 2017. I mean, I know Barstool Sports. I'm sure many of you guys do. It's all over Instagram and like all the social medias. But I don't know how big it was back in 2017. Like, were you one of like the first?
Okay,
interns
yeah.
or
So
something?
I was literally one of the original interns.
Wow.
So I interned with all of the people that you guys would be familiar with doing content there today.
Really? And
If
were you
if anyone actually watches them.
I'm sure I've seen some of their stuff. I'm sure people here have seen it. But what were you doing, like software engineering related stuff, or were you doing content related stuff?
I was in a couple videos, but mainly I was on the software engineering team, but
Okay.
I got to like hang out with everyone, and I was in like some of the videos and would do kind of hang out and do like random things at the same time.
Okay.
But also, yeah, I did a lot. I worked on a team. Like they had this guy, one of like a data science pro from Dropbox they brought in. Okay, they were like re-architecting the entire site. It was like a PHP WordPress kind of thing before, and then they were moving it all to React because React, I think React, if anyone is familiar, got like pretty mainstream in the summer of 2017, or maybe like right before it. So when I went originally, they were like, we're going to use Ember.js or whatever. And I learned all this stuff and I took a test to get to the internship in Ember.js. And then as soon as I passed, he was like, all right, scrap that. Ember sucks. We're learning React. And then I went there and my whole job while I was there was moving stuff over from the WordPress side to React, doing a little bit of Node.js stuff. And then also I did some stuff with Python where, yeah, I worked on like a Scrum team. And the team was like really good. I guess I would say.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know anyone else who's worked at Barstool Sports, so that's why I was curious about it. Nice. So I guess moving forward here, the next thing I was going to ask you guys, this is kind of a classic question, but what is your favorite and least favorite thing about programming? Just to give you my answer quickly, my favorite thing probably is just building stuff, like being able to just really be as creative as possible and go and solve problems and build literally anything that you want, especially as you start getting better at it. But my least favorite thing would definitely be, the bugs and the fact that stuff is constantly changing. And a lot of times I've had this during a bunch of long streams that many of you people have probably seen here, where there's actually an error in the framework that I'm using, or there's some deprecated feature or some documentation that's not up to date, and I end up like smashing my head on the table for 2 hours because of something that's not even my fault, just to realize that, software is not up to date or whatever, some issues, some version problems. So that's kind of my answer. But Ben, what about you? What's your favorite and least favorite thing about programming, software development, whatever?
Yeah, I'd say similarly, like being able to build stuff that I can actually use is my favorite. I just like building apps and websites that I can like make that I actually want for myself. And then my least favorite part is definitely Angular JS and like Z technologies. Get that out of here.
Nice, nice. So, what are some of the things that you've built? I've seen some of your stuff on. I don't even know what it was. Twitter, LinkedIn. I've seen your like VS Code stories projects. But what are some of like the favorite projects you've worked on?
Yeah, okay, if I have to pick like a top favorite, it's probably gonna be VS Code Tinder.
Okay.
So basically I was like, you know what? What if I make a dating app where instead of swiping on people's bodies, you swipe on people's code? And so you'd upload code snippets for yourself, and then you'd match with other people's code if you thought they just like wrote a really hot algorithm, and then you could go on a date with them.
Yeah, that's a amazing, very creative idea. Did you deploy that out? Like, did you get users on that?
Oh yeah, there's actually like one person or one couple that's getting close to like they're gonna get married. So like it was the success.
Really?
I at least
From
brought
VS
one
Code
couple
Tinder?
together. Yes.
That's
I
a
was
pretty amazing
shocked
story.
like that happened.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. That's really cool. All right,
It's
Nick.
actually still out there now. Like I think it's dead. Like I don't think you're gonna be able to find matches now, but you can download Vicender. It's called Vicender, VS.
Resender.
I'll put it in events chat.
Okay.
The name of it if you want to download it, and you can upload your own little profile, but there's probably like not that many people to swipe with now.
Okay, but it's still live. Like the extension is it's just a
Yep,
VS
it's
Code
out. It's like
extension.
it's on the iOS. So it was a VS Code extension and it was on iOS and Android.
Damn. Okay. That's yeah, that's a very cool project. Jesus, the fact that you actually brought people together that are getting married, that's pretty impressive. So nice. Okay, Nick, how about you? What's your favorite, least favorite thing? And then I guess if you want to, you can talk about some projects that you've worked on as well.
All right. Also, I want to give a shout out to 9GGY. They just DM me father. So, what's up? But also, yeah. So my favorite thing about coding. Okay, here's the thing. If you do a little bit. Wait. Oh, sorry. I'm just hearing myself a little bit. Let me just turn my volume down. If you if you get some stuff on your dude, wait. Why am I hearing myself? All right, I'll just shut my volume off. So I'm just gonna talk now. If you code enough and you get some stuff on your resume and then maybe do some YouTube videos or something like that and get mild success in the field, then I can act like I'm like smart for the rest of my life from now on. I think that's pretty good. Um, the worst part about it is I don't like leave my room that much. I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't. And that's about it. Yeah, I don't know. And the thing like you said sucks with the deprecation and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, I learned React. Oh, now React has hooks. Now freaking React has Next.js, and now you have to use freaking TypeScript. Like, calm down, dude. It's like kind of annoying that you have to like keep staying up to date with everything like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put kinda before that. I would just say straight up that it is annoying that you have to do that. I mean, I guess that's kind of part of the software industry. I guess that's one of the main things people always talk about is like you constantly have to be learning. But I think it's probably one of the only industries where something you learned, a year ago could fully be completely irrelevant right now, and you could be roasted on the internet for, writing some bad code or something, right? I remember I did a React tutorial series and I started doing the React not hooks, like the class-based components, and I got absolutely ripped to shreds in the comment section because, like, 2 months ago or something, and I'm not like a React user very often, everyone just went over to hooks. So yeah, that's very relatable. In terms of not leaving your room, though, I feel like a lot of people here can probably relate. That's kind of just something that happens when you're, a computer nerd, really. And not to call you a computer nerd, but anyone who's programming all day, that's what's going to happen, right? You're just going to be staring at a screen, and it can definitely be detrimental, I would say, to the mental health sometimes. So you got to find an excuse to get outside and do something that's not tech related, which is hard.
Honestly, it's not the mental health; it's the physical health, dude.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
order DoorDash. Like Ben might know how much I order bad food, but I order like really unhealthy food all day.
How's
Okay.
your fitness challenge going? You did the 30 days. Are you still going strong?
Okay, here's what I did. I actually signed up for HelloFresh, which starts in 2 days, and I'm getting a meal prep for everything. So
Oh,
that's
that's a good
decent.
idea.
And then I went to the gym like twice, but I'm really gonna take it seriously when the HelloFresh comes.
Yeah, the meal prep is a really good idea. I started doing one with Chef's Plate. It's like the exact same thing as HelloFresh, just better in my area. Probably 2-3 months ago, and genuinely, it's like life changing. Like I'm actually getting nutrition now from my meals, not just frozen pizzas and like one main meat or something. Like very very
Exactly.
impressive. And they're really easy to make too. They do take a fair amount of time, especially because I'm not like a chef. But they're pretty simple. Like you just follow the instructions and
Dude, what the
you get
fuck? This
good meal.
sounds like a fucking ad read, honestly.
Yeah. Go use my discount code. I actually do have a code for that, but it's fine. I don't need to plug that. Yeah, okay. Nice. So moving on, I don't really have anything else necessarily prepared to ask you guys, but as you kind of alluded to before, I was going to ask you, Ben, what your favorite front-end framework is. I've seen some kind of internet beef going around. I haven't followed it too much on, Angular versus Vue versus React versus all these other ones.
Did you say Vue?
Vue, yeah, exactly. As you can
I'm
tell,
sorry, I
I'm
had to
much more
call
of
it
a
out.
Python user
Rea-
than the JavaScript front-end guy.
No, React.js is where it's at. You want to learn a front-end framework? I'm always going to tell you React.js. Vue is also good. Vue, like, I'm not going to hate on you if you pick Vue too. Like, that's a solid
Vue,
one as
in
well.
my opinion, is
Hmm.
basically just bootleg React. Though it sounds
Oh
when
my
I've used
gosh.
it, it
You're trying to
seems
throw
like
hands right now.
bro. When I went to use it, it's like the same exact framework, except it's just
Well,
a copy
am I
of it,
really going to be the
basically.
guy here to defend Vue against React? I'm like,
Yeah, say it. Talk. Let's hear it.
um, okay, okay, I'm obviously in the React camp, but what I've heard from the Vue camp is what Vue has to offer is just a simpler way of making components versus React. And also that especially when it was like more template, if you have a UI designer who wants to come in and like write some HTML, they can, but they can't really do that with React because they have to learn JSX. So it's like an easier transition to learning Vue as well. That's like some of the things I've heard. Like I think it just has a steeper learning curve. But honestly, man, don't have me
That sounds
defending
kind
Vue.
of dumb, cause
I just use React, man.
yeah, I
We
mean
need a better
JSX is
Vue
practically the same
advocate.
as HTML.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't have a side in
Angular
this
does
fight.
suck. That is a meme, but
Amen.
I don't know why they or what I don't know if people actually, I mean tons of people use Angular. All my freaking interviews for any internship in college was always with some old dude asking me about Angular stuff, and every time I've used it, I don't like how it works at all.
Okay, svelte is interesting. If you haven't used Svelte, Svelte's like just super duper simple and just has like less boilerplate code than React. The only thing I can say I didn't like about Svelte is it didn't like I actually kind of like JSX and it didn't I'm a TypeScript user and there was like some funky TypeScript stuff with Svelte where some types were not being picked up that I preferred React. But Svelte, in my opinion, is like my number two choice. Like I'd Svelte before I would Vue or Vue.
What is Svelte? Svelte's JavaScript?
Yeah, it's a front end framework. It's like a really lightweight one. It's kind of like a hipster one, you know? It's like a popular hipster one. It's not, it's, there's like the big boys, React, Vue, and then there's like the hipster choice. The most popular hipster choice is Svelte.
So if you use that, is there just stuff that isn't
No,
built out
actually,
for though?
I think I built Vasinder's React, or sorry, VS Code extension using Svelte. I definitely did VS Code stories with Svelte. And I liked it. Like I would be happy doing it again. I'm like a little happier using React, but I'm still very happy using Svelte.
Hmm. Interesting. I've never used that. I'm still freaking. I just did. I'm still. Dude, Next.js is still annoying to me.
Yeah, it's a little quirky, but it's kind of like the best thing, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Tech Cruz says Svelte is like the quiet kid. He's big brain, but not really used that much. There
Good
you go.
comparison. Okay, I'm gonna change the topic just a little bit because I assume you guys can just go on about this arguing about front end frameworks. But I was gonna ask, I guess this is an open question to both of you. Some people are probably wondering, would you recommend that someone who's maybe new to programming, kind of just getting into the field, goes and dives into a front end framework like this? Would you say like go learn React immediately, or should they do JavaScript? Should they learn other fundamentals first? Like, what would be your advice on that if someone was asking you that?
Ooh, Nick, do you want to go first? I have opinions on this, but I
Learn
don't want to rip
JavaScript
it apart
frameworks
first.
immediately. So what you need to learn, what you need to do is take a learn. I don't know how you take a web dev course on whatever website, Code Academy or whatever the freaking crud. Build
Free code
like
camp, yeah.
I always say just build a personal site first. So just build a personal site, then you'll probably understand how to at least use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Put it on GitHub or whatever, and then after that, I would make sure that you know JavaScript fully. Like before I did React or any other framework, Angular or what, uh, where did I lost my train of thought? What the hell was I saying, dude? Oh no.
No, okay.
What was I just saying?
You were talking about learning React after that.
Yeah, guys,
You were
sorry.
talking
I
about the
slept for
sequel.
3 hours, by the way.
Okay, I'll pick it up from there because I agree with that. Like the sequence of learning that I always recommend is one, you should learn a programming language like first. Like you should learn how to do a for loop before you jump into any like
Yeah.
framework. So
JavaScript
that's what I
has
would
like a
do.
lot of unique stuff too, like the
Right.
prototypes and the closures and the hoisting and all that crap.
Right. So you should learn like all that stuff, in my opinion, before you jump into anything. And then I don't think it's that important to actually use vanilla JavaScript to build anything. Like, I don't think you really need to learn right away, like document selector and all that stuff. I think you can just jump straight into learning React and learning HTML and CSS with it. I don't think you need an intermediate. That's just my 2 cents because like that's how you're gonna build websites. You're not gonna go back and do vanilla JS anymore. I mean, you can if you want to, but I just don't think it's that necessary. And you're just gonna have a better time.
Yeah, seems like a good answer. I mean, I'm not a web dev guy, so I'm going to defer to whatever you guys said. Nice. Now, in terms of doing, say, like the back end of a website, right? So let's say someone maybe, is a front end developer and now they're looking at getting into doing some back end type of stuff. Would you recommend a language like Python, or would you say just stick with Node.js or just use some other JavaScript back end or use, whatever, like other frameworks that you can have on the back end? What would you guys say
If
for that?
I was if for any personal project that isn't going to be an attempt at a company, then just use Node.js,
Okay.
right? And then anything.
I even think
I
you
mean,
can build your
unless you're
companies on
unless you're
Node.js.
like studying Python or something, or unless you have like some kind of goal to learn a different backend or whatever. I think Node.js is the easiest to like just get up and running, like Node Express or whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, you go.
my 2 cents
That's
is
okay.
like
Cut me off.
Python's great for backend. Node.js is also great for backend. So if you know Python, you should just use Django and you should build or like Flask and you're gonna have a good time and you're gonna build a good backend. But if you learn JavaScript and you know React and you don't want to learn another language, then just use Node.js. Like they're both good. You can not only build personal websites with both Node.js and Python backends, but you can also build entire companies. Like Reddit and YouTube were both built off of Python, I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure Netflix uses Node.js. And you can go look down
Yeah.
several hundred companies that use both of them. So you should pick
Have
the
you
language
guys
you like using.
did you guys build anything? Well, Ben, you built stuff with a bunch of users. So when does it become a thing where performance and money and stuff is like affected by the backend server side language you use or framework? Like what point does it matter what you chose as far as performance wise? Does it matter at all?
When when you're so successful that you can hire a dev team to rewrite it in any language you need. Like you can kind of just keep throwing servers at it. Now there's like also one of those things where like yeah, if you write it in Go and Rust, it's gonna be really performant and you can just like get away with less servers. So like they're right. Like the trade-off is dev time. If you think you can code it faster in Python and
But like,
Node,
does
and
it
then you can just
matter
throw
when
more
it's ten
servers.
thousand people? Does it matter when it's
No.
100,000 people, or does it matter when it's like 20 million people?
I feel like it matters. Okay, there's also a difference between people using it over time versus concurrence. Like if you have 100K people visiting your website over a week, that's very different than 100K people concurrently using your website. And that's a big difference. A lot of websites and apps in general do not have a ton of like concurrent people using it all at the same time. Like you can have 1 million people using your site over a month, and that's a lot, and you can be running that on like a $5 VPS.
Yeah, to give
But obviously you're yeah.
no,
Go
I was just
ahead.
gonna say my website gets probably 200,000, 250,000 people on it every month, and it's on like some
What the
$20 VPS. Not very many concurrent users. Like if I go check it right now, there's probably like 50 or 100 people on it. But it's it's not the fastest thing in the world because it's just a WordPress website. But it's never had any like crazy performance problems with that many users. Sorry, Nick, were you
Right.
saying
So like
something?
it really just
Dang,
comes
that's a
down
shit
to
ton, dude.
concurrence.
It's
Yeah,
because
no,
a
it's
lot of
literally just
my
concurrence.
tutorials are hosted, like a lot of the code for them, the older ones are available on the website, so people will go there to like download the code or look at the code or read my like text-based articles about it, right? So that's why.
Are you
All
doing
right, you
paid
put an
courses?
end to this. What's better, Django or Flask?
Oh, okay, yeah. This is a tough
Oh,
that really depends on what you're doing. Like personally for me, I almost always prefer just to whip something up in Flask cuz it's just way faster and I've used it a ton. But if you were going to build like an Instagram or anything that's like security is more important, I feel like using something like Django is probably better. From what I've kind of seen, like the big, larger scale websites all prefer to use something like Django. But for any like tutorial or like hobby project, I'm not going to go through using Django when I could just very easily do it in Flask. And the setup's just way easier and it's just more user friendly, I find, at least writing in Flask. Less included features, but if you're just making something simple, then Flask is definitely the way to go. I don't know if you guys would debate me on that or if you agree with that.
no, I agree.
Okay, nice. All right, so we'll open
Yo,
up
guys, am I ruining this or no?
No, Nick, you did. Everything's great. I think I've been reading some of the stuff
All
in
right,
the
okay,
chat.
okay.
Everyone seems to be enjoying what's going on here. We're going to open up to questions in a minute. I just wanted to kind of end by asking you guys about what you're up to now, kind of what your goals are looking like for the future. I know both of you are on YouTube. Ben, you said you're on TikTok. Nick, I know you're working right now. Ben, you've got this new company that you're working on. So I'll just give you guys an opportunity to kind of chat about that if you want. So maybe we'll go to Nick. What's going on in your life right now? What are the goals for the future?
So I'm in this really nice apartment. It's listed at $550,000. So
Yeah.
I'd love to make $550,000 at least by the time I leave here. Probably like a 10% chance or less of that happening. So yeah, that sucks. And then I'm just working on some YouTube videos. I feel desperate for views right now. because I haven't gotten good views in a little bit. So I'm trying to figure out how to get a bunch of views. I do have a plan in mind, but I know I have a couple video ideas, but that's basically it. I'm desperate. I like the feeling of views. I went viral on LinkedIn yesterday though. Anyone see my LinkedIn post? I got some good LinkedIn likes.
Yeah, you've been killing it on LinkedIn. I see
Heyo.
you post a lot of stuff on there.
Thank you. I got 1,000 members in my Discord in 24 hours.
Wow, that's
pretty
impressive. That's
good.
probably more than we've ever gotten in this Discord. Damn.
Wait, do you just put like your Discord link at the end of the post, or is it just from like in your
That's
bio
what
on
I'm.
LinkedIn?
That's what I'm saying, guys. You got to put the Discord link. Yeah, I put it in the
Okay,
post,
in the
like
post.
second line every single time. Also, you put hashtag pro. Actually, don't give away the secrets. Don't give away the secrets.
Okay, yeah.
Say it
This
after
is
the
for elite content creators only.
To get popular on freaking LinkedIn, so cringe.
Hey, I mean,
Okay,
it's,
is it the if programmers did more leak code? That one?
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
We're
nice.
going up, bro. We're at 300K views.
Wow, yeah, that's more than most YouTube videos that all of us are posting. Anyways, Ben, what are you up to? What's going on in your life? What are the goals? How's the company?
I have been working on a company, and let's just say there is going to be a large change in the company that is going to be happening. That, sorry, that was Alexa. There's going to be a large change coming soon in my next dev vlog that I'm going to be dropping. I can't really spill the tea yet, but basically there's a giant tea that's about to happen and there's going to be a lot of changes, but I can't really talk about them yet, but I can vaguely say I'm doing startup stuff and I'll continue to be doing startup stuff and posting content on YouTube. Hopefully I'm going to get more consistent on YouTube because the past month or so I've been a little bit well, maybe the last 2 months I've been absolutely not consistent whatsoever. I've been just kind of dealing with some stuff. The stuff is kind of being dealt with now, and I should have more
You
time.
fell off, dude.
I fell off. That's really what it is, right?
Ratio.
I'm a washed up YouTuber. Um, but yeah, I know I'm beating around the bush. I'm sorry I can't give more details, but you'll completely understand what I'm talking about in my next video. It's kind of, I don't want to announce it like now
Yeah,
because it needs to go through legal and whatnot, but soon.
Nice. All right, so you guys heard it here. If you want to see what's going on with Ben, check out his devlogs. Those seem to be pretty popular. I've seen a few of them on YouTube. I was going to ask, what was I going to ask? I forgot. So you're not working like an internship or anything. Like you're full time on this startup stuff in YouTube.
Right. I'm
Okay.
full time, just that split and like a tiny bit of consulting here and there, but I'm like winding that down to do more startup.
Okay, nice. That's cool. All right, so with that said, I think we're ready to open up for some questions. We got about 150 people here, so hopefully we'll get some decent questions if my Discord stops lagging and glitching out. These stages have some issues with them. Hopefully you guys can still hear me.
I
'cause my
wrote,
screen's
"Am I
frozen.
ruining this in general?" And someone said yes.
Yeah,
I
you
wouldn't
are,
say that
Nick.
at all. Well, okay, I guess Ben's a little
No,
bit
just
nicer
kidding.
than I am.
But
I'm
also
just
the
kidding.
person who said yes, is their freaking profile picture is Ben.
Okay,
Wow.
so they're just trolling.
Roast them, Nick.
So he said he's only listening to you.
All right, so if you guys want to ask any questions, then feel free. You can click request to speak. Also, if you're too shy to ask a question, that's fine. Just leave one in the chat, and my staff will go through and kind of pick out the best ones and actually ask them here for us. So when we see a few people in here, feel free to ask a question to whoever you want. I'm going to allow this guy here. I'm not even going to read the names because I always just mess
Skinny
them up.
Peen.
Can you guys see the request to speak as well if you click on request?
Yeah.
Hello
Okay,
guys.
sweet. Hey,
What
how
up,
you doing?
How are
Chris
you?
Payne?
Welcome.
I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous. Oh, my heart's beating.
Deep
I
Don't
can't-
worry
breaths,
about
bro,
it, man.
deep
I'm
breaths.
nervous too.
Yeah,
We got big YouTubers in here.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Tim and Ben. Sorry, Nick.
Oh,
Dude, what the freaking dude? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
my god.
So basically, if you have a minute, I can tell my story, like in 30 seconds,
yeah.
and I have a follow-up question. So I started learning Python in June of 2020. I'm 17 years old currently, and I started learning when I was around 15. I was about to turn 16. I completed a beginner's course, then I completed an algorithms course. Sorry, my English is bad. I'm not a native.
You're great. No worries.
Algorithms course. Then I took a little break, and then I returned in 2021, in around May. I completed an object-oriented programming course, and then that was the time when I really popped off. I started doing a lot of Code Wars questions, if you know that site, coding problems and stuff, and I got to around top 1,000 in that site, so that's pretty good.
Wow.
On what?
Yeah, top
On
1,000
what?
members on Code Wars. Code Wars.
Oh, Code Wars code. I thought you said
Yeah.
Code Forces. I was like, what
Oh.
the freaking crap?
On Code Wars, there are around 4 million members, and yeah, that's a pretty big site too. So basically,
Damn.
what my question was, I completed all these things, built all these projects, and I'm really losing motivation. I really don't know what to do, because I have done this, that, many algorithms and stuff. So I don't know. I'm waiting for a Django course to drop in my country, in the academy which I'm in. But till then, I'm just basically like once a week going on Code Wars and just doing problems. So if you had any tips to keep motivated, it really helped me out.
Sure. So I'll give you what I'm thinking, and then Ben and Nick, if you have anything, feel free to jump in after. This is something that actually happened to me as well. I mean, I've been doing this YouTube channel for a really long time. Like, I've probably been doing this for 5 years, and it's been very repetitive, right? You're doing like the same type of content constantly. So in a different field than you, but I ended up kind of hitting a point where I was just doing the same type of coding, wasn't learning anything new. And like you, I was losing motivation. It was kind of boring. And so what I did at that point, after a few months of thinking about it, was I just decided I wanted to be a beginner at something again, right? So you're at this point where you're pretty good at what you're doing. What I would recommend is dive into something that you haven't done at all in the coding space. Maybe that's making an iPhone app. Maybe that's doing machine learning. Maybe that's learning a front-end framework. For me, I never had any experience doing front-end stuff at all. So I learned React. I started messing with that. I'm definitely not a pro, but that was super fun. And that occupied my time for about a month, learning all of these different features and trying to get better on and working on something new. So I'd recommend that to you. And I don't think you necessarily need a course to be able to do that. I mean, all of us here have a ton of tutorials, so you can watch some of those.
Yeah, I just got really like dependent on my courses, because at some point I was thinking that like without this course of my academy, I can do anything. I can learn on my own. But then your video stepped in and you helped me learn web scraping and stuff. Like, your videos really helped me. So thank you.
I'm super happy to hear that.
Yeah,
So Ben, Nick, did you guys have anything to add to that, or was that good?
No,
Yeah, I have
agree with
a
that.
tough time with motivation too, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about learning Django, but I was really scared that I'm not good at what I know right now, and I was just trying to improve on like algorithms and recursion and like those stuff, those kind of stuff.
I
So
feel like you have to ask yourself, what do you want in life? Do you want what is the goal? Do you want to make money? Do you want to be smart? You want what's the point?
I don't think I started programming for the money, but I mean that's a factor, I think, for everyone, I guess, a little one at least.
Yeah, so just think about sit down, think about your goals, and then maybe that will give you a better idea of what direction to head in.
So diving in a completely new subject is your tip, right, Tim?
Yeah, I would just say, look, you're always going to have, you're 17 years old, right? That's what you said, 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have so much time to focus on learning new skills. Like, you're
what?
beyond
17.
Yeah, you're beyond everyone.
Just
So
turned
if you're
17.
losing motivation, the number one thing I would say right now is try to get that motivation back and try to keep your passion for programming alive, because the last thing you want is just to be, sitting at your computer all day doing something that you dislike or that you're not super excited about. So get excited about something, work on something new, and maybe that's going to take a month or two to find what you like, but you have so much time, so take advantage of that time, because as soon as you hit our age, 23, 24, you don't have as much time to be able to do that, because you're focusing about bills and money and school and all of those other things. So anyways, I'm sorry, I don't want to end this really abruptly, but I just want to get some other people in the chat. So thank you very much for the question.
Thank you very much.
Wait, what about Mandy Sky?
Sure. We'll invite him to speak. But thank you very
Okay.
much for
Thank you.
the question.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Because I
guys.
think I saw that name before, and I
Goodbye.
think he might actually.
So, yep, we've got him in here right now. Hello.
Hello?
Nadine, do you
Welcome.
know who I am or no?
Yeah. I know
Let's
all
go.
of you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Nick has a fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of all of you three. Yeah, I've been a really big fan of Nick's NFT career, hopefully.
Hell yeah. Hell
Hey.
yeah.
Tim's new the dev's web scraping series, and Ben's new potential startup. Yeah, I'm all familiar with all of them. Yeah, just a huge fan, so
Yeah, well,
pretty
thank you very
nervous.
much. Sorry, I don't want to rush people, but I just want to try to get as many people as possible. So, do you have a question you want to ask us?
I guess so. Like, I've had encouragement issues as well. Like, I've been making projects, but I don't know if my projects are sufficient, or maybe I can make something better, but it takes a ton of time, and I really get burned out by debugging things. It's like I get burned out so much from debugging that I don't really want to continue a project anymore.
Okay.
So I wondered about like from programming, like Git, unit testing. What are your experiences on these topics? Like, what do you think about them?
Sure. I'll
Unit
let
testing or burning out? Should we talk about unit
Hell
testing, or should we
yeah,
talk
hell
about
yeah.
debugging and burning out?
you could talk about both.
Yeah,
Unit
yeah,
testing.
well, you guys
okay,
can
here
talk
I'll
about
make it easy. Unit testing is boring.
Yeah, it is, and it's like not that useful most of the time.
Do you guys like in your code banks? Do you guys still end up using print statements or console logs to debug?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even in-
every day.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
So
not?
how did you guys?
This
Yeah,
guy's
well,
a
yeah, I
pro
am.
tester.
Yeah, I am. But I considered learning unit testing and all of this just to like get the professional developer tools, like a professional environment. Yeah, it's extra skills you can put on your resume, so I'm like, why not? But I don't really find myself using it that much because it's just a pain. So I want to know, yeah.
Yep.
Aside from unit testing and these things, what do you guys think that what tool should every programmer have, like aside from Git or anything? Like, is Docker these days good? Like, do you guys use Docker?
Yeah.
Docker's for specific things, though.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
do you
I
guys
don't think
use
it's a
Docker
must
for?
for a job. You should honestly just look at the job postings of jobs you want and then learn those skills. Because like some are gonna need Docker and some don't.
What would you use Docker for?
What's the newest stuff? Ben, you know the newest stuff. Or actually, Tim probably knows the newest stuff too. What's the newest thing? Is there like a new thing right now or no?
Not really. Like Docker's like good to, like I use Docker for deploying all my websites. And just like all my servers, I'll deploy using Docker because it's easy to like the nice thing about Docker is you know it's gonna work on where you deploy it because it deploys the same everywhere.
Yep.
So I use it every
True.
time I'm deploying, but it's like not a must. Like you can literally just push your code to Heroku.
Yeah, I would say to kind of wrap up the answer here, because you've asked a few different questions, the tools that you should learn are the tools that you're going to use. And I know that seems like an obvious answer, but you kind of have to figure out what you want to do, what type of programming job maybe you're looking for, if that's kind of the goal here. And then, like Ben said, go look at some job postings and see kind of what's required. But for me, I know like when I worked at Microsoft, like I didn't know unit testing or all of these other types of testing, and like I just learned it there. It wasn't a requirement for the job. It's not super complicated to learn. It's just boring, and you use it when you need to use it. So if you're proficient in programming in general, then I don't think you need to focus too heavily on every specific tool. Just kind of learn them as you get to them, right? Learn them as you need them.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to talk with you guys. I got my questions answered, and I'd love to talk with you guys again someday.
Love you, dude.
Thanks.
You as well. Thank you
Same.
very
Love
much,
you
man.
all. Cheers. Bye.
ya.
Cheers.
Okay, we're gonna bring in the next person. I have a queue here, so I'm just gonna go in order. Again, I'm sorry if it seems like we're trying to rush you guys, but I just want to try to get through as many people as we can. Hello.
Is it Rhino?
No.
Kind of like Rhino. Let's go. This guy rules.
Oh my god, I can't believe myself.
All right, kick him.
I'm with the YouTube. So my question is, I learned Python for half a year.
Okay, you're cutting off a little bit. Can you just leave the mic open? Is there a way for you to do that? It just keeps cutting off, or maybe you're speaking in like 10-second
I
pause
say
increments.
you put your kid on the mic and have them ask the question.
Same.
Okay, so I can't prove my skills. I can't solve programming.
That means you need to program more.
What happened here?
Okay. Sorry. I'm just gonna.
That was-
we're gonna go to the next
that question
person because
rules.
that's just a little bit too chaotic for me right now. Who's next? There we go.
Send your question in Vince chat.
Yeah, send it in chat and we'll try to
Do you
answer
have a
it. Your mic
question?
is not.
I can't
being
solve
very-
programming.
Hey, what's up? I'm Force.
Hi.
First of all, shout outs to Silde. He's currently in the chat. He's one of my best friends. And like coding
Shout
and stuff.
out.
So
Awesome.
shout out to
Shout out.
Andreas, aka Silde. My question is, how important is security for you regarding password management for literally anything, especially for programming like websites and specific access to files and on your own OS? How important is security for you?
It's a good question. I've actually never been asked that question, but I'll let the other guys answer first. Nick, how important is security to you?
Pretty important, man. When I go out in public, I get swarmed. So no. All right, that was bad. That was bad. All right, forget that. Oh my god, dude, I'm so cringe.
Ben?
All right.
Okay, I would say it's very important for me. If we're talking about internet security, I'm not quite as famous as Nick, so I don't have, people swarming me yet. But obviously, like if you don't have good security, bad things happen to your websites. And so especially if you're like putting your website on the internet and making YouTube videos about it, if people can abuse it, they will. So like I take special care not to expose my secrets, and I put them in environment files, right? For like everything. If I'm going to push my code to GitHub, that's like a very basic thing you should be doing. And then as far as like, I don't worry too much about like my local computer too much security. I don't think too much about. I think more about when I'm setting up like a VPS or something, and I make sure like my connection to the database is secure and I'm not leaking anything, and I'm just like very careful about the secrets that I'm using and if I've exposed them or not.
Yeah, that's something you can learn the hard way as a content creator if you expose some password. Or I've exposed some passwords on some like dummy emails that I've done, and they've just been destroyed in literally seconds on live streams. So yeah, that can definitely occur. For me, I would just say one thing I do a lot is just 2-factor authentication, everything, even sometimes maybe 3-factor authentication, because the reality is like, people can get your passwords. It happens. There's data breaches all the time. So as long as you have like, an authenticated phone number or like an actual physical USB key, I use that for any really sensitive data. That's kind of how I make sure I'm not getting hacked online.
Are you guys on the password manager wave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I personally use KeePass because we use it as at my company too,
Oh, nice.
and it's really great. And you only need one master password, which for me is like I think 40 letters with numbers in it. I can remember myself, but everything else is like very long. And it. What about
Holy
backups, like database backups? Do you guys do that? Is it worth the effort?
Oh,
And
definitely. I do daily backups at like a minimum.
I export to a text file at the end of the day, and I just keep a folder of those.
Interesting.
Nice. All right. Again, sorry to rush. I'm just going to move on to the next
Yeah,
person.
no problem.
But thank you very much for the question. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day, guys.
Yep, you too. All right. White Devil. Hello.
Hey. You guys can hear me?
Yep.
Dude, your
Yeah.
name sounds racist, honestly.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yes. So I'll get straight to the question. What are your views about software development and versus competitive coding? What should be doing? What should not be doing? What is actually going on in the market? What is the present situation out there?
So if you do competitive coding, you can work your entire life and never even get to the top 1,000 people in the world, and you will never make any money in the sport of competitive coding as of right now because they don't pay that well at the competitions. So it's pretty bad career choice, but it's good if you could learn algorithms and data structures and stuff, and then you could get a job from them from doing it. But I would say just I don't know. I was doing it for a bit and I did not find that it was that fun.
Yeah, I'll retweet Nick's sentiment.
Yep, Nick is
Like,
the
learn
the
as
pro here.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
learn algos for getting a job, and that's it.
Okay. Alright, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the question.
Unless
Thank you,
your
guys.
parents are geniuses or something and then you think you're going to be the best in the world. Then do it.
All right, moving on to the next person. Hello.
Duncanstein. Oh
Can you
no,
guys
it's
hear me?
Dukenstein.
Can you guys hear me?
You?
Okay, cool. My question's for Nick. So I noticed like some time ago he did a video on like his career journey over the past couple of years. I noticed one summer he interned at the NCSA.
I did do that.
I'm asking this because at that time I was there as well. I'm a U of I alumnus, and just saying that seeing that did excite me. So Nick, if you could, I'd like to hear what you did over there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to or not.
Yeah, no, I was at let me tell you guys, the National Center of Supercomputing Applications. What do you think of that? That sounds pretty freaking cool, am I right? No,
Facts.
but I just did some research on black holes. Oh wait, sounds even cooler. But yeah, no, I just was researching for there was like some professors there. I did like a research program. It was pretty standard, honestly. But I was a part of LIGO. That's even cooler, guys, right? Anyone ever heard of LIGO? You ever heard of that? So that's it.
Sounds really cool, though.
Yeah. LIGO's like this legit thing. The freaking guy who runs it got like the Nobel Prize or whatever. And then I was studying eccentricity in binary black hole mergers because black holes like merge together or whatever. So I was working on like a machine learning model to detect eccentricity or something like that.
Yeah, I think when I was there at the time, like a lot of people I've heard that go there is for stuff in space. I've never been able, like I didn't touch that stuff when I was there, but it was just always cool like seeing people like demo their stuff.
Oh, I took physics 1 and 2 right before that, and I was applying to that thing, and I was dead set on like getting a physics research thing for some reason, and I don't know, I don't care about physics at all anymore. I don't know why. I was just really obsessed with physics for like probably a 1-year period. But hey, man, I never saw you, but I mean, you seem like a cool guy. So
Yeah, no, yeah.
If you want, we can freaking hang out or something.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, just thinking about that, it's amazing. I never like bumped into you or like saw your face. I don't think I would have remembered. I thought like as a side question, what did you think of campus? Did you like go anywhere?
What's the place? Hendricks Hall? What is it called?
Hendrick House?
Hendrick House. I lived in Hendrick House. That was pretty cool. They have like the food downstairs was kind of good sometimes. Yeah, and I recommend that school. That campus actually is really nice. And it's in the middle. It's like right outside of Chicago too, so you could just drive to Chicago, and then it's like super nice area.
About 3 hours away. Did you go to any? Did you look at any bars or anything?
I went out to I did my thing. Oh my god, why am I so cringe, dude?
No, you're all good. Sorry, Dugenstein, I don't want to kick you out, but you've had a few minutes here, so I just want to move on to the next person. See if you have any last.
Yeah,
I love
no
you,
worries.
bro.
Feel
No
free.
worries.
Love you, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Take it easy. Thank you. Okay, I just need to say quickly, I've accidentally been kicking people from the server because I right-click to remove you from the thing, and I saw kick, and I assumed that was kick from the thing, but that was incorrect. So if I kicked you, no hard feelings. Hopefully you join back. That was unintentional. Anyways, gonna move on to the next person. We've got Rag 2000. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing? You have a
What up,
question for us?
Rag?
Yeah, hi man. Hi everyone. I'm a big fan of all of you. Yeah,
Who are
hello.
you the biggest fan of, though?
Yeah, I'm the
Nick is
biggest
your
fan of
favorite, right?
you, Nick White. Yeah,
There
Nick
you
is the
go.
best.
Let's go.
I love
Let's
his
go.
programming jokes, and yeah, man, those are awesome. And the responses are even more awesome, man. Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
And yep, and I had a question. As you said, as you also said that we need to diversify in various field, like in the front end tools, in the back end, like that. Like I was learning data science, and I learned the front end Flutter thing, but I haven't mastered anything. So how do I? Is it better to diversify or master on one field?
That's a good question. I'll give my thoughts quickly, and then if you guys have anything, feel free to chime in. For me, I think it's important when you're starting at least to look at some different technologies. Like I know for me, my first 3 or 4 years of coding was strictly web stuff, and it was like super basic when I was really young, right? Only like 11 or 12. And I liked that, but it wasn't until I got to Python and even stuff like C++. And I know people say they don't like Java, but I like it for some things, that I actually really found kind of what I've enjoyed. So I think like at the beginning of your journey, it's important to like look at the different fields and kind of figure out what you like. And then once you figure out what your preferred method is, to kind of try to become, a master, if you want to put it that way in that. I'm not sure if you guys have a differing opinion.
No, I agree. Like, I think it's good for you to like try different things at first to figure out what you want to master. But I also think mastering something's like the way to go once you figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, just get good. If you get good, this is what I say for all my advice. Get good, and there you go. Then you're good.
Someone quote that. Words of wisdom right there. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Did you have anything else to
Yeah.
say?
Thank you. No, thanks. Thanks a lot for awesome content by all of you.
Of course. Thank you very much for the question. All right. I'm not going to
Thank
kick you. I promise. I'm going to move you to the audience this time. There we go. Okay. Next person.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yep. All
I
good.
can hear you. I
So
can hear you.
I want to say that I'm a huge fan of all three of you. And as you said, it's quite hard to balance out life and work. And right now I'm 15. Started coding maybe when I was around 12, C++, mostly competitive programming. And what would you say about going and balancing out like teenage life and coding?
It's a good question.
I think you need to have a balance, because if you only code and you never have a social life, then eventually that's going to lead to loneliness and sadness in the future if you never make any friends or do anything or have life experiences, and you're going to regret that. You got to freaking balance. But also, you're going to regret if you don't take full advantage of your mind and live up to your full potential. So you have to keep both of those in mind.
Yeah, I would say the most important thing probably is to evaluate your goals, right? If you want to be the next Bezos or Elon Musk, then unfortunately you're not really going to have much of a social life. But that's a decision that you make, right? So for me, I work very hard. I'm probably working, 9, 10 hours a day. But at the same time, I always try to make time for friends, and I always try to prioritize the social aspect, because I know I'm not getting that as much as necessarily other people. And I want to make sure that I'm not just isolating myself, inside on the computer all day. So I think it really matters what your goals are. If you figure out what you want, then you can kind of align what you're doing and how you're spending your time with that goal. So the first thing I would say is figure out what you want. Do you want to go be a mega billionaire, or are you happy to, make some decent money and live a great, happy life with your friends, right?
Yeah, and for me, like creating a routine for myself is like really important, where I say, all right, I'm going to be spending 2 hours of programming a week, maybe on Saturday at this time. And like I just time slot it. And that's just the time I've dedicated to doing that because I want to do these
You
other
do all
things.
of your stuff in 2 hours a week?
No, but like if you want to, when you're 15, that's so freaking early. You don't need to be spending all your time coding when you're 15, right? Like
True.
I
Like
think
Call of
when I was
Duty, dude.
15, exactly. Like I think if you're 15 and you want to get ahead, if you spend an hour a day programming, that's not that much. You can still do everything that you're doing. You'd be like way past everyone.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to say that I'm very glad that I got to talk to you, and have a great day.
You as well. Thank you very much for the question. Really appreciate it. Okay, guys, if it's cool with you, we'll do one last person here, and then we'll end the event.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. All right, Kevin.
Best for last.
Hello.
What up, Kevin?
Hi. First, I just want to say that I'm a huge fan of all three of you. And I guess in terms of my question, I wanted to ask, I'm currently a college freshman, and I've started my internship hunt. And I have a previous tech experience, and I have a few projects, and I've gotten my resume looked at by technical recruiters. And I just wanted to ask, like, in terms of like uh messaging people on LinkedIn. I know Nick, you I saw your video how you uh I guess cold message people or recruiters on LinkedIn. Can you like elaborate more on that?
Okay, so basically people get embarrassed by things. I don't understand this. I have either a part missing in my brain or something. I embarrass myself and I could call myself out or whatever. I do it a lot, I guess, but I just have no problem with, being cringe or embarrassing myself in any way. So people will be worried about even just getting rejected from companies as if the freaking companies even care about you in any way whatsoever. Apply to I tell people, apply if you can't get a job, dude. Literally sit and apply. I have applied until I'm not able to apply on AngelList anymore, and I've applied to like thousands of jobs on LinkedIn. Just sit down all day and apply to you should have no care. Nobody, the recruiters aren't going to be like, "Oh, this guy's freaking," you know what I mean? Like, no, you shouldn't be embarrassed by anything. So you can message whoever, do whatever you want, and eventually you'll just get a job. It's a numbers game, is basically what I would say.
Well, yeah, I do agree with you on the numbers game. I think it really is luck. I think last year I only applied to like 5, and I managed to get 2, and then right now I'm just like applying to like more than 50 right now, and I still haven't heard anything back. But
Dude, just apply to
yeah,
every single one, It takes like
yeah,
2 days to apply to like 1,000. So might as well.
yeah, definitely.
Awesome. All right, Kevin. Thank you very much for the question. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
What about
thank
you
you for
guys?
having.
What you said.
Tim or Ben, do you have advice?
What you said sounds great to me. I mean, when I was applying for internships, I applied to like 100, and I only got 2, I think. Even with like all the YouTube channel and all that stuff, only 2 companies were interested in even interviewing me, and I think only one of them even like responded back after the interview. So don't feel discouraged. Even some people you would look up to us in the chat. All of us, I'm sure, have been denied or not even called back on probably hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs and interviews. So there's nothing personal, right? It's just the way the world works. Most times they probably aren't even seeing your application. They have a sea full to parse through. So
There's 2 ways to get a job. You either smooze with your rich uncle who has connections, or you grind applications. Pick your poison.
Awesome. All right. So Kevin, do you have any last words to say here? Because we're about to end the event.
No, just like I don't know, like for some reason I can't talk right now because I'm talking to like all 3 of you. I
It
usually
is intimidating,
watch
yeah.
most of your videos pretty much every day. Love all your series. That's all I just wanted to say.
Well,
And yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. We really appreciate you coming in here, and I totally understand everyone who asked a question. Thank you guys so much. I understand the bravery that requires to come in. It's a little bit easier with one person, but we've done 3, and I think this event has gone pretty well so far. So thank you very much, Kevin. I'm going to move you back to the audience, and I'll just give Nick and Ben an opportunity here to kind of, I guess, say goodbye, some closing remarks if you'd like to, and then we're going to end the event.
All right. Some of the people, specifically Rudy in general, said I ruined it and that I sucked. I could see how that's possibly true. That's possibly true. I slept for 3 hours. This could have been more professional if I wasn't here. But you know what? I brought something here today, and I'm leaving it in this Discord.
Awesome.
Wow, I want to give a shout out. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Nick White for spicing up this event and coming out here on 3 hours of sleep and making it interesting. Thank you, Nick White.
Thank you. I want to shout out my TikTok. Follow me at Ben Awad on TikTok.
You're my favorite TikToker, Nick.
Thank you.
Absolute must right there, guys.
Also, both of these guys have Discord servers, so make sure you join those as well. I think they're probably just about at the point where they can start getting partnered on the server, so if you guys give them some more members, that will be helpful. Thank you both, Nick and Ben, for coming in here. I think this was a great event. This is the first time we've done it with 3 people, and hopefully we can have you guys back in the future and, do something different. Maybe we'll have like a coding competition or something more like live action going on.
Live debate.
Live debate, yeah, debate a front-end framework. We'll come up with something, but let us know, guys, in the events chat and all the other chats, what you might want us to talk about next time. And with that, we're going to end the event here. So thank you, everybody.